Okay, so first question, would you mind telling me a bit about who you are and what you do professionally, and what is your connection to Project Humanities?
Sure. So I'm Jacqueline Taylor, and professionally, I'm a marketing consultant right now. My background is in brand marketing, so I've marketed products, everything from cereal to orange juice to pet products, you name it. I've done marketing for it. I've worked for Kellogg's and PepsiCo and PetSmart, and currently I'm a brand consultant, marketing consultant. And my connection to Project Humanities certainly goes back to, when we first met Dr. Lester eons ago. I won't say how many years ago, but quite some time ago, when he first launched the Project Humanities program. And we've attended several events over the years, have participated obviously in his service Saturdays. And so, it's just such a phenomenal program. I always tell Dr. Lester, I'm his biggest fangirl, and has done such great work. So we go back to when we met him for the first time when he launched the program through ASU. We're former actually Sun Devils, ASU Sun Devils were here live in person. And so having attended all of those events and seen the wonderful work that he's doing, we always wanted to make sure we supported him every step of the way, and obviously have benefited tremendously from the program. So that's how I'm connected. I'll have my husband add
I'm
to that.
Connected because she's connected. Right answer, right?
Yeah.
No, my name's Kevin Taylor, and professionally, I am a general management associate for a producer of Broadway shows here in New York City. Musicals like Chicago and Waitress, and we also have a development department where we provide general management services to Broadway shows. What I done before New York and what connects me to Dr. Lester is that I'm also founder and managing director of Seek First Entertainment. We are a Phoenix-based, faith-friendly production company. We provide and develop uplifting and inspiring entertainment through comedy, music, spoken word, and drama. And we received a partnership through ASU Project Humanities, I want to say in 2013, for one of our famous one-act shows, Black Women Walking. It's a historical narrative that chronicles the lives of 11 iconic women who changed the face of history. And ASU Project Humanities was a big funder of that component. So that makes our connection to Project Humanities.
That's amazing. So what initially drew you to Project Humanities, other than knowing Dr. Lecter?
Well, I mean, for me, it's just how relevant Project Humanities is in society today in terms of, obviously the tagline of talking, listening, and connecting. I mean, if we don't need to talk, listen, and connect more today than we ever did, I don't know what to say. It's so important, the work that Dr. Lester and Project Humanities is doing. At the core, obviously, we're all humans. And if we can relate to each other beyond the stereotypes that we see and hear and know, I think we're going to be a better human race. We're going to see that we have more in common. We have more that unites us than that divides us. But to do this, you have to talk, you have to listen, and you have to connect. When we stay in our silos, we can't do that. And Project Humanities really offers that safe space and that forum for us to get in there, have healthy debate and conversation, and see each other beyond just the stereotypes that we're all used to seeing, and again, talking, listening, and connecting.
And I didn't hear the original question, so would you mind repeating it?
What initially drew you to Project Humanities?
What initially drew me to Project Humanities? I think for me, with the play that I produced and direct, it was important that we continue to build a narrative around awareness and connectivity and understanding and appreciation. And we know those are all essential to humanities. So Black Women Walking does just that. It, like I mentioned, chronicles the lives of 11 iconic women. And for me, the impetus of the play is to celebrate Black voices, but also to be able to provide a bridge to connect to communities and to connect with people that may or may not look like you. So Project Humanities really came in and helped us connect to communities that we may not have reached, but also it helped us to be able to expand that message in terms of diversity. And really, what we also were able to provide through Project Humanity support was outreach and education programs where we were able to provide curriculum for students as well as community members to help them really understand the message and the themes within the play.
Amazing. Okay, let's see. Next question. What events or experiences do you feel have resonated with you the most from your time with Project Humanities?
I know I've been a gentleman the first time, but she gave me the nod. So I think for me, and I could just speak personally, your service Saturdays. I've had an opportunity to participate in service Saturdays. And I think when you're able to, again, step out of your comfort zone and really be able to connect with just the human spirit. And I believe the time that I volunteered was during the winter months. And of course, we're in New York now, but we know what the winter months are like in Phoenix. And it was just a eye-opening experience, just to be able to selfishly be able to connect and just to be able to provide a service. So I think what Project Humanities has done over the years and the program that they have really built, I was just on your social media site just a couple of days ago, and I just see that the amount of donations, the clothing items that you get. I remember when I volunteered years ago, it was, I believe, just in its infancy stage, but has really grown to be this communal event that really brings awareness to the work that you're doing in regards to humanity. So definitely Service Saturdays is really instrumental and speaks near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I mean, it's the many wonderful panel presentations that Project Humanities has put on, you know, all the different voices that you've gotten together in a room to tackle so many important topics and subjects. You know, one that really sticks out to me and resonates to me was when you did the movie screening of Fred Rogers. It was Fred Rogers was a couple of years ago, I think, and you had that as a movie and there was discussion after, but it really resonated to me because it was at a time where I was going through and grieving the loss of my mom, you know, and the portion at the end where he says, close your eyes and think of this one person, you know, who loved you, something to that effect, who loved you, who thought about you, who cared for you, and what would they say? What would they think about you? And, you know, just a small moment like that in the middle of this conversation so spoke to me personally with what I was going through at that time. And again, just to be able to connect on such a human level with these emotions that we all experience across the spectrum, you know, providing that safe space and that and those forums and those panel discussions for us to delve into our feelings, you know, and delve into our emotions and be able to talk honestly about these emotions with a larger group. A shared experience, if you will, was powerful. And that's what I take away always when I go to these panel presentations, that shared human experience, you know, that we all have.
Yeah. Okay. I think you touched on it a little bit, what you just said, but how have your experiences with Project Humanities affected you on a personal level? What do you feel has impacted you the most?
Gentlemen?
So I know Dr. Lester has a very intensive workshop that he does on protective hair, black hair, if you will, and the N word. So for me personally, I've always felt myself being challenged in that regard to how those two areas, black hair and the use of such a derogatory word, has affected me personally. So I'm always just really touched personally when it comes to just challenging the status quo, if you will, on reimagining a world that embraces all types of hair. And of course, the N word, of course, should be abolished from the dictionary. But some of those workshops that Project Humanities have presented really just kind of hits me in the gut and really just challenges me personally. And quite frankly, gives me the confidence and the reassurance that then I can be an advocate for that type of language or the lack of, and also being able to better understand the crown, if you will. And of course, there are certain laws now that have been passed, mainly in California, about the Crown Act. So that's two areas that kind of resonates with me, that Project Humanities has been, as far as I'm concerned, been on the forefront of bringing more awareness to those two topics.
Mm-hmm. And I think for me, kind of building off of what I said prior, that shared human experience, that's what Project Humanities does well. If you think about the multiple events over the years that they put together, I mean, we get to see the best and brightest and most excellent human experiences, whether it is through movies, and watching a movie and having a discussion after that and just seeing the art form of movie making, or whether it was through song or dance or, I mean, when he first started, I think one of his launched events was a gospel choir, and they brought the house down. Let me tell you, we were all up there, hands up in the air, praising, it was just wonderful. And then we've been to a jazz concert, where they had some artists that were doing jazz in the local Arizona area. I forgot what that club was that we attended, but to see that form, that jazz form, music form, being exposed to that and being a part of that. So that's I think what I love about Project Humanities is the variety of experiences that they provide. It's not just panel discussions. It's not just, watching a movie and discussing afterwards. It's actually physically going into the community, different spaces in the community, and experiencing and having that shared experience, if you will, in those different places, and really absorbing humanity at its best. And it's just wonderful. And you know what it does? It makes us all feel alive again, feel a part of something bigger than ourselves, and feel a part of this global humanity. Like I said again, the more we can experience things with different people, have different debates and discussions, but have it be, civil and civil and healthy debate. But the more we can do that, the better off I think humanity will be. And Project Humanities is at the forefront of that. They're at the nexus of all of that. So,
well, thank you for saying that. Why and how, in your opinion, does the work of Project Humanities continue to speak to what's happening in our local and global communities?
Well, I think looking at what has happened over the last 2 years, again, we go back to Project Humanities' core objectives of talking, listening, and connecting. And if you think about what has happened over the last 2.5 years with the global pandemic, there's been a very limited opportunity for people to talk, listen, and connect, especially, and those are such core human emotions. Talking, listening, connecting. So many people over the last couple of years have been so isolated, from each other. And I think with this pandemic, the silver lining you could say in it is that we all realize how much we need each other, how much and how important that human connection is. I think sometimes I would say myself included, we took it for granted. we took for granted that we can go give a person a hug, sit down and have a conversation, listen to someone, connect with someone. And so that's why I think, again, Project Humanity is at the nexus of that. Now more than ever, I think locally and globally, people are yearning to connect. They're yearning to talk and listen to each other. And so having organizations like Project Humanities that provide that safe space, I come back to that term again, for people to do that is so important. And kudos to Project Humanities for doing that even through the pandemic, you know, via Zoom. Of course, you know, connecting via Zoom, we don't get the same sort of emotional feeling, but they continue to find ways to provide outlets for people to do that, and I commend them. But to answer your question, more than ever, we need that because of coming out of this 2.5-year pandemic where everyone was so isolated and really realized the value of connecting on that human level.
That's a mic drop. I have no comments on that one.
No, you have to have a comment.
Okay, so that's about it. Just any final sentiments or thoughts you would like to share?
Well, this wouldn't be a Project Humanities interview if we didn't have a chance to put the hand in the air, right? So I got to put here we go. Wait, is it the right hand or left hand? Oh, it's the right hand. I'm looking at your shirt. So.
Right hand, left hand,
left hand.
A hand,
Yeah.
A hand. Well, and the 5 fingers being connected. Is that what you're going to speak to?
That's where I was just getting ready to go and just kind of talk a little bit about just the symbol and the brand that it really just speaks of. I'm just looking at your shirt as we speak, that this symbolic metaphor, if you will, of the hand, and that it's all connected. And we know from a biblical standpoint that the body, if you will, has several parts, but they all work together to be able to bring unity and connect. And I'm just always struck by that symbolism of just the hand that Project Humanities represents. And then we're all these little fingers and we're connecting, but we all have to be in unison just to have our goal accomplished. So just wanted to put the hand out there and leave it at that. So.
And I think building upon that too, I would say I completely agree, but it's also a reminder for us that what you were saying about the individuality of each of the fingers, right? That to connect and to become close to each other in this kind of one human community, if you will, one human family, it doesn't mean we have to lose our identities in that process. I think too often people are of this mindset that to connect and, you know, with other people that somehow we're going to become this blob of, for lack of a better word, all these different cultures melding together and we're losing, you know, but that's not what it's about. It's really about celebrating who we are and how we can bring those individual differences together for the greater good, which is humanity, you know. And I would love to, I mean, a parting thought here for me, I've told Dr. Lester this as well, love to see Project Humanities on every campus in the United States of America. This project is that powerful. It has changed lives. It has changed minds. It is changing humanity for the good. And something like this needs to be everywhere. And anything we, the Taylors, can do to help ensure that happens, count us in, Dr. Lester, count us in. Love Project Humanities.
Well, thank you very much for your time. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.
Okay.